Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Bailey Unicorn Cabrera. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan. So starting off first, you have your black hitch head here and black handle just here. So you have to have that pulled up. You can then wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow ball, snap down the handle, push up this red button and expose a green ring. You have a breakaway cable just here. If you have an eye pointer, it has to be used. If not, wrap it around the tow bar. You then also have 13-pin electric, so if your car does have 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You also have a gas strut handbrake, so always ensure that you pull it all the way back, as some people will just hear the first initial click and think it's on. Make sure you just pull it all the way back. And then have your jockey wheel, which is used to level. So we are using our test equipment today here. So at the front we have the plug-in for the mains lead. Mains lead just gets pushed in nice and easy like that, and then that will get power in. And 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. The caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs, they're simply used for stabilisation. On the opposing side of the caravan, starting off first, we have an Cabrera full of clean drinking water and your water pump. The water pump itself connects in by just pressing in and can be removed by just pulling out. It's locked into place when you press that handle down and locks it in. You have this plastic cap to go over the top of the Cabrera to make sure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom you have your strainer. It's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise it can lead to coughs, gasps and splutters. Then just next to it we have your flow. Your flow is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just next to it we have a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose connected. That connects on to this regulator just here. Hand tighten that as much as you can and then just nip it up using a spanner. Don't put too much pressure, as there is an O-ring inside, and if you put too much pressure it can cause it to crack and break, which can lead to a gas leak. Once both sides are connected, twist the bottom on. And the last bit is your toilet function. So first up, just behind the axle, we have where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need a 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. This will come from both your shower and your sink. Then just here we have your cassette toilet. To remove the cassette, press up on the handle, pull out towards you. You can also open up this point just here, and you can use it similar to a carry-on suitcase. Twist this here to the side, open up that point there, and then you can tilt and vent to drain off any water or waste. Then you can also open up this component. This is only a recommendation. Feed in some fresh water, give it a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. And on this cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that's for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into that cap, back to the side, push it in so that the cassette sits behind those white teeth, so that it can't be removed. Then up above we have your flush tank. So this can hold 12 litres of water, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You can also add a little bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell a bit nicer. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just to the side here got a little bong. Hold up. There you go, it's just cool around there. Open that up and that will drain off any remaining water inside the flush tank. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Then underneath your right hand side bed you have your outer boiler just here. Now the main thing to note is that drain valve. That drain valve, when it's in the horizontal position as it is now, is allowing the flow of water to come through. When it's switched up to the vertical position, that will drain off any remaining water inside the system. We are going to leave that in the vertical position when you do collect the caravan. Ensure that any time you come off site, you drain off. November to March, it's up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, as any damage caused by frost can split and burst the pipes, and it's classified as user error. Then underneath the fridge we have all of your trips and fuses. All your trips need to be in the upright position, so I'll just flick that one up, there we go. And all your fuses in the correct position as well. I would always say as well, carry some extra fuses across the van with yourself. Then underneath this seat we have your motor mover box, and also your point for your red key to be put in. And just here we have your main control panel. So we have your main on and off switch just here. We have your internal light switch just here, and then you just have to use the respective light switches. And then you have your awning light. So go outside. You can see that's on just there. Move it out of the way slightly. And then you have your water pump button. Now, when you press that in and the tank needs filling, essentially a green light will come on there, showing you that it's being filled up. So if I drain off a little bit of the water, you can see there the green light comes on, and once the water's been replaced, it's off again, essentially. So anytime there's a green light, that's it filling the boiler. You then as well have your battery voltage. When you only have the battery on, that is a retrospective look of the charge of the battery, but when we're plugged into mains, that is the amount coming from the mains lead. So when you do press the pump button, I usually allow 2 to 3 minutes to allow the flow of water to come through, and then check your taps and let it run for about 30 seconds. So whilst we wait for that, we'll turn on the outer panel. So this is for your heating and your hot water. So it comes up and it flashes to this home screen just here. It tells you the internal temperature, which is 20.5 degrees. Press menu just here and it flashes up to the screen. So it goes to its most recent memory, which in this case was taking it to 29.5 degrees. So this top one is for the internal temperature that you desire. Whatever you set it to usually gets to that temperature in about an hour. So goes up and down in 0.5. Next up we have your water temperature. So when the bar is off, that means that the water inside the boiler is not being heated. When it's on midway, that will get the water temperature to around about 40 or 50 degrees. It's not an instant thing, so it is a case of just waiting a little bit of time. Then when it's on full, that will get the water temperature to about 60 degrees. Now that prioritizes the water over the heating of the actual van for about an hour. Once that hour is completed, it will drop it back down to midway. You then have your energy sources. So you've got mains on 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Now do be aware that some sites do not have 3 kilowatts capacity, especially if they are rather full. So 2 kilowatts is always safer. Then you also have gas there, so you can run a mixture of gas and 1, 2 and 3 kilowatts, or strictly gas. So you've got the choice of either gas, mains or a mixture of both. Then this settings button takes you to the additional settings. I'm not going to run through this as we have set it to what we believe is the most user friendly to use. If you'd like to have a look inside your book pack to see what those represent, please do so. Now naturally this panel will turn itself so that it's not disturbing you whilst you sleep, but that green LED will stay there. But to completely turn this off, press it in, no more heating for the van. Now it's been about 2 to 3 minutes. Open up your tap, both hot and cold, and what you're looking for is this nice steady continuous stream. If there's any coughs or splutters, go outside and make sure that the strainer is sat at the bottom of the barrel, the drain valve's in the correct position, and that the acroll is full of water. So let it run for about 30 seconds. You can also check your other taps as well. Just like so. And just here we have your hob, grill and oven. So all of this operates off gas minus the electric plate. For the electric plate, spin it to whatever mark you want and it will get to temperature. Everything else, press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press the igniter. Now it may be a case that it will flash on and then turn itself off after a couple of seconds. That's just the gas making its way through its system. Just relight it. But this is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all burners nice and lit. turn it off back to the central position. Same concept for the grill, so press in, twist to the side, turn it on, and you can see both sides nice and lit. And same again for the oven, so press in, twist to the side, turns itself on. Only other real thing to note, you need to travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these burners are cold to the touch. You can also travel with the gas hose on, but make sure that the bottle itself is turned off. Then on the opposing side, we have your fridge. So you've got the choice of 3 different things. So you can either have it off, as it is there, on mains. When you turn the fridge on, it will light up. You can have it on 13-pin electric, which is that one there. That is not leisure battery. Or you can have it on gas. Now for gas, what you have to do is come over to first this. This is essentially your power gauge. The thicker the bar, the more power coming in. And you also have this igniter. So what you have to do on both of these is press and hold in. And what will gradually happen is this orange bar will go over to the green. Now don't try and use gas until you've checked all of your hob grill and oven working, and then you can switch it over. But this is what it looks like when the bar is in. It does take about 30 seconds. As you can see here, the bar is now firmly in the green. Now that will gradually float over. Don't let go until it's firmly in. Now when I do switch it over to mains, you can see it drops straight away. If I put it back to gas, it might float up a bit, but it will probably need reigniting. Then the last bit here is your toilet function. So lift up that lid, you can press in this button just here, so, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water inside the system. Then to remove the waste, you press away on the handle, opens up the catch just like so, and pull it back towards you to be able to empty it. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red light there telling you to go and empty your bog.